conversation. Hair, health, and hobbies with Benny Jones. To inspire you to carry on.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about hair, health, and hobbies. But today is not a hair video, it is a podcast. And of course, it's me, Brittany, because who else would it be? But I also have some very special guests.
Hi, it's Sophia.
Hi, it's Marisha.
Hey, it's Chelsea.
All right, and so today I got these three lovely ladies on the line to talk about a very interesting and juicy topic. Today we are going to talk about relationships and ask the question, if love is truly blind. So what do y'all think? First of all, I guess let's ask the question. Who is in a relationship? I'm married.
I'm single but dating.
Okay.
I'm married.
I'm single.
All right. So that's the perspective that you're going to get today. So let's hear it.
Okay, well, I'll start off. I think, from my point of view, I don't want to date anybody blindly. I mean, I don't think I could actually really fall in love with somebody and not be able to see them.
Would you go on a blind date?
I've been on a blind date.
How was the experience?
I've been on a blind date.
It wasn't a good
It
one?
wasn't good at all.
Have you been on a blind date?
Mm-mm.
I think when you date people online, or if you see a person and you talking to people online, that is sort of like blind dating.
I don't know. I guess I could see that perspective. But when I meet someone online, because yes, I do that. But when I meet someone online, I video chat with them and talk to them on the phone like a few times typically before we actually meet in person.
So Catfish has taught you something.
Yeah, a lot. And I love that show.
But I still think it has to do with, even if you see them online and you're seeing them like that, is that all you need though?
Well, she just said that she meets with them in person.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, that online image gives you enough to want to meet them in person.
Correct,
Right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
still, even with that, sometimes you can meet them in person and the vibe is just not the same.
Right.
So it's still even more to it. But I don't think love is blind at all.
I don't think love is blind either. Because I don't think I would date anybody that I haven't seen first. Because you don't know what's going to show up. And I'm not saying that I'm the most beautiful person in the world. Because they probably think the same thing about me. Because, we're not the apple of everybody's eye. But I think I would want to at least see them before meeting them. But then I guess, what about the shows that are like, they purposely pair people that don't look like they should be together? Have y'all seen those on YouTube? Mm-hmm. And so they make them go out on a date. And a lot of times they end up like, oh, that was cool. But, it's not an attraction like that. They just get a good friend or whatever. Mm-hmm. But some people like each other. Like, what do you think about that? Like, people be like, I would never date a short, skinny redhead or something like that, and then that's who they pair you with. And they try to prove a point to, like, it's not all about image, it's about personality, it's about if you have commonalities or things like that.
Well, to really be honest, I do think that would kind of put me in a different place if I was set up like that. You know what I'm saying? It would be different for me just picking somebody if I was actually set up to do that.
Mm-hmm. I guess, but still,
I think I would be a little bit more open to that person. But if I'm going to just say I'm going to go and date somebody, I still have an image of what I want to date.
A type.
A type.
And even the type don't necessarily have to be just the outward appearance, but the type is also who that person is inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's good. So would you ever do a long distance relationship? Because people do those, like you in California. Well, you're here and somebody's in California.
I wouldn't have at a real young age, but I think as you age and then you decide things like, if that's going to happen, if you really meet somebody and some things are being worked out, but I wouldn't do it for long term. Mm-hmm. But if I felt like things were going to work out and that person was at a distance and we were working on getting together, then that would be different. But as a young person, mm-mm.
To be quite honest, though, I would like to think that true love really is blind, but in reality, it just doesn't seem like it is.
Agree.
Because it's really nice to think that you could talk to somebody and you have so much in common. You enjoy each other's conversation, everything that goes along with that. But then once you meet the person, all of that goes out the window. Only because of you looking at a person physically
Mm-hmm.
and then making a decision.
Yeah.
But you've lost out on a lot that still was a good person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the person is truly being honest and you all had so many things that
Connection.
went
That you
together,
connected with.
that connected,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, because some people even have in their mind, I would never go outside my race. I would never date, I would just say a voluptuous person, or I would never date a skinny person, or I would never date a short person. Or people have all these concepts of what they want, but a lot of people are missing out on really good people in their life. I mean, that person could love you unconditionally. That could be the very best person for you. But because when we look at people, we automatically start judging them.
Mm-hmm.
And we automatically think, what would people say?
Yeah.
She's ugly. She's this. He's that. But that person could very well be the person for you.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think that all of God's children are beautiful in His eyes, but when you talk about attraction, let's be honest, you are not attracted to everybody. You might love everybody with godly love, but you're not physically attracted to them. It's
But
just okay.
That's the truth. But when you think about that, think about the people that are like other cultures that already picked somebody. Like I done already picked him for her.
Mm.
And they're going to get married no matter what. This is what they
You have
to
no
do.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of those people never really grow to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
They just in a relationship because they've been made to be.
Yeah, no. I agree with Marisha. I feel like it's a lot of people
They miss out.
that miss out because, and not even like yours was deep, but it'd be some simple stuff. You'd be like, oh, why didn't you like Charlie? Oh, his nose was a little too big.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Or why you didn't like Charlie? He had a scar on his pinky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, something that I have to learn was like, I'm not perfect for anybody. So why would I expect somebody to be perfect for me?
Mm-hmm. True.
Because I'm not a number one pick. Like, if you be realistically, like, I know we like to hold ourselves in highest regard, but really, when you think about relationships, it's, compromise and all that good stuff. So why would I expect a person to just be perfect as far as personality goes, even as far as looks goes and all that stuff? Nobody's going to be perfect. Or, I don't know, maybe a perfect match for you, but not like what we think of when we think of like being young and be like, I'm going to get married to somebody who, like for me, I'm tall. Can't be shorter than me.
Yeah.
We do stuff like that. So why would I?
And I'm thinking we're talking about basically healthy people.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you add a health aspect to it, that's even
That's true.
More challenge.
another challenge. Because if you meet somebody that, I don't know, health issues run in their family. It could be anything, and not making light of it, but certain things can pass to generations,
to children,
your kids and stuff. So
that's stuff to be mindful of too.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what we've all said is that as much as we would like for it to be, love is Definitely not,
not blind. And it makes me think of companionship too. Because, like, when you watch movies or you look at different things, it may be a person that, like, you will see them, they'll be so physically attracted to a person, but that's not the person they marry. They marry somebody for more of a substance and compatibility and longevity in life and stuff like that. So you got to consider that too. Like, you could be totally attracted to somebody and could possibly fall in love with them, but it's not all about just looks or what they have or finances and stuff like that. Because once you get into a house with somebody,
That's
my God, can you live with them? You know?
Right.
So, but
That's true.
I don't think it's blind. I think that's why we have something called dating.
Exactly.
'Cause, you know, if it
Exactly.
was blind, you really wouldn't have to date.
wouldn't
You'll
have
be
to
like, oh, that one, that's mine right there. But you date, whether they're low on the line or whether you're like, oh my gosh, man, I ain't married. And you start dating that person, you be like, we ain't getting
You really
married.
find out.
Or maybe the person to be like, well, you're nice. And then next thing you know, 2-3 years later, you're like, this is the best love of my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why you date.
And
And that's
I agree
another
with
thing,
that.
being Christian too. Because, you know, like, how does that go? Because, you know, it'd be like, ooh, you dating, ooh. But how the heck you gonna get married if you ain't dating
true.
multiple people? Not at the same time. I mean, if that's your thing, but, you know, I'm not saying do it at the same time. But, you know, sometimes in being Christian, you kind of get the side eye if you like dating Johnny, then that didn't work, and now you're dating Stu, and they're like, but how are you supposed to find anybody if you don't date?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I wonder. Like, is it bad to date as a Christian? Like, is it bad to date multiple people? Because I feel like I don't know, I feel like in a way it's frowned upon when you are like going on different dates with people. But then, like Brittany said, how do you date them if you don't go on dates?
And this is like a true story. It's not even made up. Like, if I didn't date multiple people, I probably wouldn't even be married. Because I was dating somebody before I started. I was kind of dating 2 people at the same time before I was. To tell, yeah. Before I was like, man, bro, I'm gonna have to let you go. You know,
But then I think with my generation,
because if I would have been like, Steph, I'm dating right now, like, I'm talking to somebody, it would just have been like, that would have been it. But I was like, oh,
And see
I
that,
want to get to know you. I want to get to know you too.
and that's the thing, the terminology, like being as my nephew says, an older. We look at things differently. The word date, we look at it so differently. The younger generation is talking or
Getting to know you.
getting to know
Like,
you.
we not in a
or
relationship.
something
We
like
just
that.
talking.
exactly.
Right. So
And see,
This
that
ain't
is
no
the difference.
relationship.
right.
We talking.
So we're looking at if you're an older person, we're looking at it like
Y'all in a relationship.
Right.
already.
So-
Oh, no, this ain't that. Now, when you talking to somebody, you trying to see, is this worth a relationship?
See, okay.
so you talk to date.
See. Yeah.
So that's like the first stages of, hey, we're gonna date now and we're gonna be exclusive.
No, exclusivity, that comes after you talk for a little bit.
Right.
Then you decide that I'm going to date this person for a relationship purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay.
Your mom is like, I don't get it.
Right. She's like, this is too much.
Okay. I mean, I get
You don't get it. So, like,
I
let's
get
say
that.
if I'm single and it's a guy that I like named Bob, I'm gonna start talking to Bob. But me and Bob aren't dating. But older people love to be like, oh, that's her boyfriend, or that's who she's dating. Me and Bob not date. We not in a relationship. We may go out on dates. He's maybe a friend that I'm getting closer to, but we are not in a relationship. We just talking. You know what I mean? We're just talking. Eventually, if I really like Bob, we may have the conversation and be like, okay, so do you want to go further? And then that's when it's everybody know where I'm at, Bob at, where Bob at, I'm at, because we're in a relationship. It's open to the world. But when you talking,
You just talking.
you just
And
I
that's
get
different
that.
from how because that's a generational thing.
Yes.
Because see, even growing up in church, we were always taught that who this person is that's who you're. That's if you're talking to him.
that's who
You're
you're dating.
You're
dating
dating
him.
that person, and you're dating him for the purpose of getting married.
Oh, heck no.
That's
How you
what-
gonna do that though?
Because you take What would they use?
But what if you don't like Bob after talking?
Honey, it was plenty of them I didn't like, and I just said I don't like you.
That's just it. So basically, y'all just have to go one at a time.
Yeah.
Versus us,
Yes.
Me and Bob have a mutual agreement that we're just talking, so you can't get mad.
And see,
if
that's
I'm
the
talking.
thing.
Exactly.
That's
That's
the
the thing, the mutual agreement.
That's the difference.
Because I don't know, I probably can almost guarantee somebody start liking each other more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened in my case. The person who I was talking to before I
Sure.
had that conversation, he won't talk to me to this day, and I was just like, dang, because we weren't in a relationship.
Right.
But see, that's the thing. Now.
But I get it,
But to
because
him,
there was a lot of time, and it was a lot of effort, and it was a lot of
and to him,
whatever.
he was building this relationship.
true, and I
But
get
to
it.
you were just talking,
Casually talking.
Yes.
You wasn't at the same.
casually talking, and casually looking over here, and might be somebody over there. I'm trying to talk to.
I wasn't talking
Not
to that
saying
many
no,
people.
no.
I was
but
talking
I'm
to
saying
Jesus. I was
you're-
only talking to that one person.
Exactly, and go right back to that. You were talking to Jesus. So when it came down to it, why couldn't you just talk to him in the beginning and find out who that person is?
Well, because I didn't know. I didn't even know who Stephen was when I first started talking to this person. Like the first person I was talking to, oh my gosh, pray that he never listened to this. I didn't really want to talk to him in the first place. But you know how you get like
You're supposed to be talking to somebody, so you just kind of
No, it wasn't even that. He was really a genuine person. So over the time of me talking to him, I'm like, oh my gosh, like he is really a cool person. And so I really but at the beginning, I was like, even telling him like, nope, I ain't talking to nobody. Like, nope, it's me and Jesus. It was back in I'm in dating Jesus and loving Jesus era. You know what I mean? And so, but he, had to be persistent. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like he's really cool. So he's a person that I really like start hanging out with and doing stuff. But I never would go any further because that just really wasn't on my radar to do.
So what was going on then? You just wasn't becoming more attracted to that person,
I guess.
And then when the other person showed up, and that
When your
person,
husband-
But I didn't even try to talk to him though.
no, I'm saying though,
Let the
but when
record
he
show
showed
that.
up, but when he showed up, and then you started to be around him, then you started to have some attraction to that,
Yeah.
to the other person.
So that
So I started
attraction
talking.
to your husband now was greater than
Than
with
the
the other guy.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah.
So you're like, I don't feel this with
And we were
Bob.
just talking anyway. But in his mind, we were in a relationship. But really, in
But
my
he
mind,
couldn't
we were
have
just
thought
talking.
that we were in a relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get what you're
I-
saying.
he think it was leading up to a relationship.
right.
Uh-huh.
But it's always like that. One person think,
One
okay,
thing, and
I'm really willing this person in, and I know because of time or whatever, they're really liking me, but you're really not.
I don't know. I think that's hard to say because, I was talking to him for a reason. I thought he was a really nice guy. I did like him. And I hate the way that sounds because it makes it seem like I was talking to him and I didn't like him.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't dirty like that.
No, I believe that you really did like him.
And you
Yeah.
can tell
But
the person
what
really
I'm
has
saying
to-
though is sometimes I believe that we allow things to go a little bit further because we still like, well, I kind of do like you.
But, yeah, there you go.
know, but then the other person show up and it's like, but this person now is on that wire because they're like, but you do kind of like me and I know you do. And I really like you. So
Have you been
it's
there before?
confusing. Yeah.
It
To me,
sound like
it's very
Sounds
confusing
too personal.
to somebody in that relationship, in the whole of that relationship, because now it's feelings. And see, when
But
feelings
tell me this
get
though.
involved,
Tell me this though. Either way it go, whether it was like that or not. Let's say I was talking to Bob, but somehow I magically knew that another person was going to come. So I said, Bob, I don't like you, and stopped. And then I started talking to the person that I didn't even know in that. What's the difference? Isn't it the same thing basically? Because how would I know to stop talking to Bob if, you get what I'm saying? Because I get the merit of
Okay,
like
so
you only
answer-
dating or talking to
answer
one
this.
person at a time.
Were you
Would you
settling
have
for
stopped-
Bob?
right?
Were I settling for Bob? No, I was having fun with Bob.
Okay, so this is the
What
thing
type of fun?
about Bob. This is the thing about Bob. Though. would you have cut Bob off if this other person had never shown up?
You and Bob.
Because let's be honest, sometimes
and
we just
Bob-
hold on to
you-
somebody.
You and Bob
As a
could be
backup.
married right
I
now.
would probably be talking to Bob. Maybe.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
you
I-
would
I-
settle for Bob.
But I don't think that I probably would have
She
settled
would've
for
settled
Bob
for Bob.
unless Bob would have wore me all the way down.
Bob, don't
he
listen
was
to this
wor-
podcast.
he was on his way.
Bob probably don't know who he
He
is.
was on his way. But the point is this.
But
would
you get what I'm saying.
But
I get it, but
apparently
would you
Bob
have-
still has feelings. He won't speak.
Bob still got feelings. That's what I'm saying. Would you,
Bob is
I'm gonna tell you
Bob is
Bob
going
is, so
on.
we
would you have settled for Bob? Would you have broken off with Bob before this other person came?
I honestly
Or-
don't. I can't say because that was
No,
so long
can't
ago.
say.
I just can't say
Mhm.
because in my brain I want to say that I would not have, but I can't say what I would have done.
See, and that's the thing I'm talking about.
Do you get what I'm
When
saying?
we in something when it's more than one person, then it's mixed feelings.
I don't know. My feelings were very
Oh,
clear. I told Bob,
But
"Look,
it-
Bob, you can't be calling me no more.
How did Bob take it?
Look, Bob, I know
see,
you
he
want to
doesn't
hang
speak
out,
to her.
but Bob,
I did take it very well,
I think you're a very nice guy,
but you ain't the one, Bob.
and we can be great friends.
Oh my
Now,
God,
see,
not
and
the
then
friend
she put that
zone.
on there. No,
We've been
you
friends.
can't. Yeah, but he won't speak to you now.
Y'all ain't friends.
No, I'm his friend though. That's all that matters.
But he don't know. But you ain't.
It don't
his friend,
matter.
but you not-
I'm trying to tell y'all a real story here, and y'all
I-
laughing.
No, I believe it because you know what? I've been in that.
But
same
I'm just
real story.
saying that you talk about mixed feelings. It wasn't no mixed feelings.
What if you're in a relationship and you in your mind,
Well, Bob,
you're doing this, you're doing that, but then that person starts.
but
hey,
that's what
babe.
that's what guys do. I mean, Bob was doing the same stuff. That's what they do. They call
Right.
you sweetheart.
They
call
all
you-
do that.
They call
I-
you babe. Come
They
on
all
now,
do
don't
that.
play. Like they do
I don't
it.
know about Babe
They-
and Bob and no.
Babe, Bob, boo, anything,
all do it.
anything. They
See,
all
here-
don't.
here-
All
here-
of them.
See, first thing you probably should have said is, listen, that's a little much. Don't call me babe because that's trying to
You
take
should
the
set that
relationship
up right off the
to
bat.
another level. You should have nipped that in the bud.
But I mean, I've had a Bob and a Alan.
At the same time, probably.
No, not really. At the same
What's
time.
wrong with them?
Because
They
I'm
being
one of those
honest.
people.
Right.
I'm one of those people that if they nope. Get the moving. I'm one of them. Before I actually start to talk to someone else,
You make sure
I
that's
would not. Yeah,
cut off.
I make sure.
I think
it's cut
that's really good and honorable of you. I can remember being younger in church, and we would talk about this all the time in our like teenage like church and stuff. When you got older, we would talk about the aspect of entertaining people, and they used to always tell us all the time like, don't entertain like so many people at once, and that's basically the same message. But like, if I'm being honest, there was a point in time where I wanted to be entertained.
Yeah, and I get that.
You know,
I
so
get that.
even though I knew in my brain that I'm not about to date you, I wanted your conversation, I wanted your friendship, I wanted your yeah.
I mean, that's all
And so
in
yeah.
growth and growing and stuff like that. But as you mature, I ain't got time.
yeah, that's
when
true.
I'm done with you, I'm done. No.
That's worse.
But when it's just, I just don't think that I'm going to take time to put a lot of energy into something that I know I don't.
it's not gonna work, and I think that goes back to sometimes you can miss out though. Like some people
Yeah,
have
that's
that.
true.
Sometimes people have that thing, and they look at you like, I ain't putting no time in this. But if you were to sit down and really talk to Bob or whoever, you may find that you have more things in common, and that you may actually like this person.
Yeah.
But
Well-
sometimes we get set in our ways to say, I ain't waiting too much time.
Especially when you get older.
One perfect example. Like, it was a guy that liked her when she was in school, just so in love with her. Carry her books, he just was so in love with her.
All over.
Number one, he was a Caucasian guy.
That was out of your comfort
And
zone.
it wasn't out of her comfort zone or anything, but she was just into something else.
He was the
And
best guy, though. He really was. I mean, I don't know
but
how.
super nice.
In
He
the
just
words of
loved him so
Dinky,
much.
every woman want a thug. That what you was wanting.
No, he was just such a.
They say everybody got
What
every
is
woman.
that?
I know they say every woman got an
Just say he
experience
was
of thug.
different.
He
I
was
had mine.
just so.
I didn't like him.
He was literally
God.
like he was a really really attractive Urkel. for real, in real life.
You just didn't like him.
So he was not attractive.
No, he
No,
was
oh,
very
he was
attractive.
very attractive. Okay.
Very
She said an
attractive.
attractive. So basically, he was a fine geek.
Very. I
Wait,
mean,
so what happened?
That's what I'm trying to figure out what was the problem. He's carrying your
he
book.
was,
Sound
he
good
was
to me.
so much.
Drink your bath
Well,
water.
I'll tell you
That-
what. He's a millionaire now.
Uncle Urkel.
Came
Stepdaddy.
to the class reunion
Stepdaddy Urkel.
30 years later.
Mm-mm-mm.
He's a rocket scientist.
That's
Did
awesome.
he still look good?
And told his wife in front of me, if you die today, I will come back and get her.
Oh, I wouldn't even. I don't
Embarrassed
even like the
me
way
so
that's.
bad, I believe I turned.
I don't even like the way that. You may have passed the dodge the bullet. I don't like the way that sound. They make him sound like he can have what he want when he want
was
it.
very, very, and that could have been some of it too. Because I mean, he just wouldn't give me breathing space. He was just
that was too
always
much.
right there. I don't even know how he made it from his class to mine when the bell rung to snatch my books.
That's
And
cute though.
It is. That's very cute.
He
That's very
is
charming.
like
That's super cute.
And
And you didn't date him,
No.
Yeah, you didn't give it a try or
He
anything?
so you just carrying your books for free.
was just, he would do all
And
kinds.
then-
He would clean the snow off the car. I come out.
And you
I
never
don't even
dated
know
him?
how he got out to school to do this stuff.
Y'all
But
never
when
even
we
went
were
on one
coming
date?
up,
That's crazy.
when we were coming up, it was so
We
need him in
frowned
2025,
upon,
don't
wasn't
we?
it?
He was strange.
It was kind of frowned upon. You had mixed couples
Yeah.
when we were coming up, but it's just like all eyes were on them.
hmm
I mean, it was very few.
It was different, but he didn't care. He was the type that he did not care. The other boys would pick on him and say stuff about, man, you stupid and all that. He didn't care. And he was grabbing them books.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. And I mean, that was all the way 3 years of high school. He was like that.
Oh wow.
Jesus, he was dating.
persistent.
In his mind, I think he was already in a relationship.
Right. You probably still got a picture you
That's,
sent.
yeah. Yeah, he might. I don't know. But he
Yeah.
told his wife that, standing in my face. And she said, oh, so you're that Sophia.
Wow.
And that really made me feel uncomfortable.
I would have just walked away.
I did.
Y'all enjoy the reunion.
I did.
That could be some lifetime type
Sweet.
stuff.
I know, but that's just the thought that I had as far as like dating and like being a Christian, because sometimes it, like you said, it's just frowned upon for you to date. It's like, what are you
Yeah,
doing
it
dating?
was.
You know, dating is to be married. Like, I'm not about to marry. Love ain't blind. Y'all just said that. So what I'm supposed to do? Pop off and be like, we're engaged?
Right.
No, I might not like them, and I might need to date again.
But here's the question: is it blind in Christianity?
If is love blind in Christianity? You mean like godly love, or like
Right.
Physical
Yeah.
attraction.
like look
I
like
think it's still the same.
yeah?
I think so too.
I don't think it's
I
different.
think because you would have
Because
to,
what I'm saying, who knows better than God who to put you with?
Mm-hmm. That's true. Now.
Oh, so you're saying like if somebody came and said to you and been like, God told me you was my wife.
Well, I would hope that
I've
you
done
would have
that
some
one
type
before,
of
too.
confirmation.
I don't always work.
Well, you said it was from God, or like if you like I don't know, like if a girl had the experience, like I think like that's my husband, like you think it's from God,
Mhm.
but you don't. I ain't never heard no story like that. Where the person's like, I think that this is the guy that God want me to marry, but the guy wasn't who they wanted. Does that make sense? Because we're
Yeah.
talking about like, look, normally it's a person that they actually want when they're saying God declared this. It ain't never been, man, God told me to marry this woman, but I don't want to do it. I ain't never heard nobody had that experience.
Yeah.
If anything, it's the opposite. I want to marry this person, but God told me not to do it.
Or
and I
wanna
do it
marry the
anyway.
Person, but God ain't telling that person that they should be married to me.
Right.
So I don't know. That's
But
tricky.
God is telling me I should be married to him, but he ain't telling him he should be married to me. So
Man, that can
So
get
what do you
real
do in that
messy.
situation? What do you do in that situation? Like, do you just
pray and see God. That's the only thing you can do. And then, because it's still your choice. God gives us choices. Now, it could be that really you should be with that person. But then it could be that you get with them, because I've been there too.
What you mean?
Because that's how I got me. It was, God told me you were my wife. And I was like, I don't like
Oh,
that.
that's what, for real, in real life?
I was like, oh,
Man,
I
you
don't
fair
like
for the
you.
whoop-de-doo?
Huh?
Was it God?
Well, no, I don't think so.
Why you laugh? I just want to find
I
out. Was
think
it
it was pressure of the church
on his
Yeah.
part or your part or
on my
both?
part.
This stuff is interesting to me. I like church perspective.
Mm-hmm. I think it was
And then
pressure
what
from
about
church.
what about the scripture that say, "He that findeth"?
Right.
That kind of, I mean, it definitely puts the women right out the picture. Then you sound like you. It just seems like you're just a sitting duck, waiting on somebody to
Yeah.
choose
To
you.
like you.
And
Because it make it seem like it's bad for the woman to make the first
To look.
move.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing with that. Because to me, everybody needs to be equally spiritual enough to know what God is saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's
First
good
of
too.
all, and you got to know the word. So even though it says he that finds a wife finds a good thing, he finds her, whatever, but it's still her choice to seek God to know if this guy is the right one that's found me.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
do
know, and you
want that
can't just
person?
go on what somebody say, and that was that situation.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, but even from like the woman perspective, like the scripture, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And you think about like saying a wife. Technically, when he finds you, you're not a wife anyway. Like if he's seeking you, he's not a wife anyway. So you, as a woman, you would have to be willing to be that
Okay.
wife.
That's
And if
it.
you're not working toward or wanting to be, he ain't getting no wife because you got to say yes for you to even be, to be that.
It's your choice.
So
and
it's
up
your.
to
That's
you
what I'm
to
saying. You
find
still have
out
a choice.
what God is saying to you.
hmm And then, like, far fetched though, like like what you said, or somebody said it seemed like the wife would be a sitting duck because like the guy is doing all the finding, but like sometimes
sit
they
there
ain't got
waiting.
no sense. So the woman, like if the woman make a first move, it's almost like the woman saying, "Find me, I'm right here. Like
Right.
find me." You know what I mean? And they got on night vision and still missing the mark.
And then, is it okay for a woman to pursue a relationship?
I guess it just depends on
If-
your personal preference.
I mean, in God, is it okay for a woman of God to pursue?
Like to slide in them DMs.
Right.
What is it? Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like if
Or
you
like
see
on a
somebody and
dating
you make
app.
the first step, like you,
Yeah.
like you may
you-
see Charlie and
Yeah, like if you're
Instead
on a
of you
dating app,
being
is
a
it okay
sitting
for
duck.
the woman to send that first
Yeah,
message?
Yeah.
say hey, hi,
or like, hey,
whatever.
Right.
Charlie.
Is that okay?
Because you have guys saying that now, like, we want to be approached too. Why we always got to be the one to make the first move?
Yeah, they don't know if the woman is interested or
Right,
not.
but see how things are flipped though.
Mhm.
From the way the word is set it up to the way we do it now. I mean, is that a flip?
I don't know. In my mindset, and it could be terribly wrong, but I think back to when I was dating. Like I was the type of person who would never make the first move. Like I could like somebody completely, but I'm not about to go up to you and tell you like like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't come for me, I'm not coming for you. I don't care if I thought you just looked like you was shining. I'm not coming for you. Because if you don't see me, then then it ain't it. And that was the case with Stefan. If Bree would have never did what she did and went behind my back, I probably would never be married to him because I wasn't gonna come up to him. I was gonna be
With Bob.
texting Bob.
Happily
That's what
ever
Bob
after
was hoping
with
for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just my mindset. I don't know if it's right or wrong because you think about my mindset. Like, what if Bree didn't do what she did? Then I would have probably been single.
When you're young, especially all this other young stuff now, you bosses, you, as y'all say, you all of this stuff, and I could do it on my own. I can make the money and bring home the food and fry it up. I can do all of this.
Mm-hmm. But do you really want to?
Right. You get
That's the question.
Man, I thought I was that. I thought I was independent. Man, I'm so dependent. It's ridiculous. I be getting mad at myself. Seven be like, "What you gonna do without me? Die? You just ain't gonna make it.
Jesus.
The kids gonna have to carry me."
Oh my God.
oh Lord.
Oh no.
You've been that spoiled.
Dating for me has been challenging, especially with being a Christian woman. Because, of course, we have our fleshly desires, if we be honest. And now in my age group, because I'm still in my 20s, just everything goes.
Barely. She barely.
I'm right. I'm the last one. 29. But like everything goes in my generation. People just don't care. And the world is just so lustful.
So you saying basically the dating pool is kind of shallow anyway? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's just rough, and it's hard to find people who are genuinely committed to Christian dating.
Mm-hmm.
What about you? Do you date?
Mm-mm.
Do you have a desire to date?
On Christmas, Valentine's Day,
You just want holidays.
Mother's Day. No, actually, you know what? The older I get, the more I don't know. If it happens, it's one of these. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. But I don't waste my time thinking about it, and I don't.
So you're saying if you happen to get married, are you talking about dating? The dating process.
If
happen
any
to
of
date. Oh, any of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not closed off to anything, but at the same time, I'm not going to put energy into
doing it. Like you're not actively looking for someone to date.
No.
But if somebody
Yeah.
warrants your attention, you would date them.
Yeah.
And run them by me first.
Okay, I do that. Gotcha. And you.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And everybody else.
Yeah, I know.
You have a list.
It's a whole fence around.
Fence.
See? Now y'all want to put a fence around me, but it's wide open season. No, but yeah.
Any other comments, thoughts about dating or whether love is blind?
It's definitely not.
It's definitely not. It's
Even in
definitely
the Christian
not.
world.
It's not.
But I have heard somebody say they want their man with a little dash of ugly.
I get it.
Yeah, I get it too.
I get it.
I've been there, honestly.
Are you serious?
Like, I get it. I get
You
it.
want them with a little dash of
I get it. I totally get it.
You know, they're saying nobody else desire.
Really?
Sad.
So silly.
Y'all want your men for nobody else to look at them and be like, wow, she got a nice looking. You would want him to.
I don't know. I mean, to be
That's
honest,
nice too.
I've been in a relationship with someone and people was like,
But if
what
you-
makes you attracted to him? But it wasn't even so much about the looks for me, but the personality was what stood out to me more so.
So you have a good heart.
I do. I think I do.
I do too. I think
Because
you
even
do
if,
too.
when I think about the guys I've dated, they don't, like, I don't think I would say I have, like, a type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you said a dash of ugly. I get it, but I don't know if it's that serious. Because I always laugh. I had to tell this one off the camera, but off the video. But I always say, like, if somebody could be persuaded to take a person, then how are you going to keep them anyway? I mean,
Well, that.
because, you know, you trying to say they got to have a dash of ugly so don't nobody else want them.
Mhm.
Like, that's...
Yeah, but
But I get it, though. I get it.
I don't think I would be challenged by the fact that somebody else. I don't want them to be able to keep somebody else from not wanting.
Mm-mm. Like I always...
I want an attractive person
Mhm.
and a good heart. I want them to be well rounded in all the areas.
No, I get it.
But at the same time, if he leaves, then that ain't the person that was committed to me anyway.
Yeah. Like I tell Stephen all the time. I tell, you look good. I want people to think you look good. I think you look good. But you better not think nobody else look good. That's where the problem is. I want them to want you. They can want you. But you better be looking at me while they looking at you.
Yeah, I like that.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you looking back, then now we got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I was looking at you. So how come I,
Yeah.
you can expect people.
Mhm.
People are human.
Right.
Not everybody know your situation. So they're going to shoot their shot. You know, people shoot their shot.
But see, everybody's attraction is not the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Beauty
I
is
mean,
an eye of the
somebody
beholder.
might think, "Oh my God, she is so, he is so," but that person, to that other person, is really attractive,
Mm-hmm.
and they love them for who they are.
Mhm.
Whereas somebody else might think, But you have to realize, in your eyesight, you're judging them according to what you would like.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But that person really likes the person and loves the person.
So it don't matter what you,
Right.
you know, anybody on the
No matter what
outside
anybody
think.
else think, right.
It really don't.
Well, that's it. But what I want you guys to do is, first of all, like and subscribe. And don't forget to push that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a new Sunday Session podcast, because these are fun and hopefully you get something out of it, some sort of value. And please, don't judge any of us because we talk about the past. We've been born again. Look, this is my disclaimer from my own self. But if you're listening to it and you made it to this point, please comment down below. Do you think that love is truly blind? And do you think it's blind as a Christian believer? That's it. That's all. Love all of y'all. Peace and many blessings.